All right, folks, welcome back to the Homesteads and Homeschools podcast. I'm your host, the Liberty Hippie, here with you on the last Thursday of the month, giving you a little update on all the fun things that we got going on around here. You can find today's show notes at homesteadsandhomeschools.com/GVQ08. There's not a whole lot in there, some pictures and stuff, maybe some videos of things going on around here. And baby animals are always cute, so go check that out. If you are listening to this and you want to see my lovely face yammering away into a screen, you can do that on YouTube. I'm going to try to record this as a video and put it up there because why not? Why not? So go ahead and check that out as well. And I will try to put a link to that in the show notes as well. So homesteadsandhomeschools.com/GVQ08. All right, so let's start with homeschooling today. We're done. We wrapped it up last week, I think 2 weeks ago maybe. We've been doing 4 days a week for a while now. We started earlier and we ended earlier. That also gives us the a little bit of leeway when it comes to getting outside, going on vacation, taking time off when, the public schools and whatnot don't take that time off. So in the spring, when we're trying to plant the garden and do all that stuff, we have all the time we need to do that. So we're done. We're wrapped up. We're moving on to the next grades. And I don't know what those next grades are. I think it's 5, 2, and 1, maybe. I think that's right. But it's tough, because they're all spread out across the grade levels for the most part. We're going to try to, I think we might use it's like a computer-based program for our younger daughter that kind of helps to focus the attention a little bit with some processing stuff going on. So we'll see how that works out. I've heard good things about it, but we will see. We will see. And I will let you all know how that goes. Hopefully we'll be starting up here soon again in a little bit, kind of getting back into something of a routine. With the shutdown and everything, all the kids stuff, all the co-op type stuff, all the little socializing things that we do are put to the wayside. And I know everybody's kind of feeling that now, and it's getting squirrely. And if you listen to the episode I did with Julie Borowski, episode number 65 there, it's the same thing. She was saying the same thing, and it's not that this isn't homeschooling, right? Like, and I went into it at the end that what parents in general are experiencing right now is not homeschooling. It's long distance education. It's home education that is mandated by the state, and it's not the same. You don't have the library to go to. You don't have the parks to go to. You can't get out and go play with your friends. None of that is actually happening. And so I think it kind of gives parents a bitter taste of homeschooling. And I really hope that doesn't happen. But anyway, I got into it a little bit at the end of the show, and hopefully coming up this month of May, I have a couple guests on that are doing some homeschooling that are having better results with this long distance education thing coming down from the state, and we'll share a little bit with how they're getting it to work. They've had experience both in the homeschool world and in the public school world, and we'll see what that's all about. But that's about it. My youngest, 3.5, started asking if he could go back to preschool. He started looking for his friends because he's missing them. So of course that's something. It's nice to see when they start to miss their friends or recognize their friends or know who their friends are and want to be a part of that. It's cute. It's endearing. But really onto the big thing now, the homesteading stuff that we got going on. Our garden is pretty much in right now. We're trying to stay on top of some of the weeds. Been getting a fair bit of rain, so that's nice. Looks like I might be getting a little bit of rust on our bean plants. Some of them, I'm not quite sure if it's beans or if it's just something else going on. I gotta figure that out. But rust is never fun. Can be kind of a hassle to get rid of, but we'll see how that goes. Everything else is looking pretty good. Lost a bunch of tomatoes just from putting them in the ground. Just bugs and stuff. So I've replanted them. Some of them I seeded directly in the ground, which actually turned out fairly well. And usually it's not the case. They kind of never had good luck direct seeding tomatoes, but they did. And my results were the same as if I planted them in little 6-packs. So who knows? I think one of the things we got into this year, we put things in a little bit early, or maybe we just had a colder spring, and it kind of retarded some of the early growth, and it made the plants more susceptible to pests. And I've seen that with the beans, with the tomatoes, with peppers, and pretty much everything, with the exception of potatoes and corn. But everything else that went in, just I think the spring was a little bit cold. But it's coming along. It's coming along. We got a haul of onions coming out soon, but no place to move them. So we'll see what happens with them. End up dropping them on random people's doorsteps. They'll come home and find a sack of onions because can't sell them anywhere. I guess maybe list them on Craigslist or something, or see if there's anybody we can trade them with. Who knows? Another thing with the garden, we don't really fence our garden in. There's just, I haven't had the need to do it yet. If a deer gets in, they're going to get in around the fence anyway, unless we put up a really big fence, and I don't plan on doing that too much. I like to have it open so that when it comes to tilling or watering or doing whatever, I can get in there with a tractor if I need to. I can get in there and move things around. We dumped loads of leaves in there this year, and then taking a fence up and down so you can do that is kind of a hassle. I have had a little bit of deer issue in the past. Not too bad though. Really not that bad at all. But this year I think we are going to have a little bit of a hassle. Behind our property is a 400-acre tract that is planted pine. They cut it this year. They're cutting it right now. And if you've seen how they cut it, it can be devastating. It looks drastic. They just take everything down, everything off, and then they'll replant it and cut it another 30 years. Anyway, what that means is all those animals that live there have no place to go. Now, hunting season, that's a good thing. Deer are going to be coming through our property. There's woods there. Right now, that's not so much a good thing. I've already taken care of 2 raccoons, and I think there's another one out there that I need to take care of. All those animals that had a home there, they don't have a home, and they're looking for a home, and they're going to be moving to the ring of woods around that 400 acres, and when there's a garden, when there's chickens, when there's animal feed that they can, kind of get into, it's not going to be pretty. So hopefully we can take care of that. You lock things up, you have it on lockdown so that the predators can't get in, but undoubtedly they find a way eventually. So that will be tricky. That will be tough. But we'll make do. Maybe we'll make some raccoon stew here one of these days. It's also been a month of birds. We ordered broilers, which came April 6th. We got them through Ideal Poultry. I think we ordered 25. We lost 6 of them. Just a little unhappy with that, but I think where I'm located, the mail service tends to take a day longer. Something I think about the way it goes through distribution. It always takes a day longer, and that puts a lot of stress on the chicks. And so we lost a couple in the mail, and then we lost a couple in the first day or two that we had them. So, they replace the fee, but that doesn't change the fact that, you're planning on, 20, 25 birds and you get less than that, or, the sadness that comes along with it. You're going to be butchering these chickens. Yeah, they're going to go in the freezer, but nobody likes to see a fluffy little chick dead. So we got those guys. Then on the 15th, our turkeys came in. We got 20 blue slate turkeys, and we lost 5 of those as well. So we're down to 15, which, again, not too happy with that at $10 a pop. That's a fair bit of money, but like I said, they will refund it if it's in the first 48 hours, which it was. So we got that taken care of. And they're getting bigger. It's interesting to see the difference between the Cornish cross that grow super fast and the regular birds, and just how much the Cornish cross just kind of like sit around, eat, and crap all over everything, including themselves. We put them outside, and man, they're in a big pen. They got to move to go get the food, and then they will just lay at the feeder and just eat. It's kind of funny what they do, I guess, but they're tasty, and that's what it is. And the turkeys, I hope we have 15, hoping to probably butcher around 7, 8 of them, and then keep a breeding flock. I would love to have turkeys that we don't have to keep replacing every year. Once in a while you add some new blood, some new lines, but new genetics. But for the most part, I think that's what we'll do there. The kids have already taken to a couple of birds that I guess the chicks looked a little different. I don't know. It's hard to tell. So we are painting their toenails so that they will know their little turkey chick as they get older. Kind of a funny thing, I guess. I don't know. We also finally got some chicks out of our chickens. One mother hen that last year, she did a really, really crappy job at mothering. She just in and out of the nest box, stepping on chicks, breaking eggs. Just wasn't that good. And this year, she started sitting again, and we decided to leave her sit and put 13 eggs under her. 9 of them hatched, 10 of them hatched. Right now we have 8 baby chicks out there, probably about a week old, a little bit older than a week. Of the 13 eggs, one was a dud that I failed to notice when I was candling them, so that was under there. I had to pull that out. That's 12. And the other 3 were kind of user error on our part. One of them poked its head out a little bit, cracked the shell, and then got suffocated under the membrane, so it didn't make it out, and that ended up dead. And then there were 3 eggs left at that point. Is that right? No, 2 eggs. And so at one point in time, I guess these eggs kind of snuck under there, and I didn't notice them until a little while too later, so I let them sit. I kind of knew they were on the 6th. They were born on the 6th. They were hatched they were laid on the 6th. And so I had an idea that, it should be about the 25th, 26th when they came out. At least the one egg I did. The other egg I thought was closer to, I thought it was a regular 4, had been born on that would have been laid on the 2nd with the other egg. So I brought it in, it wasn't hatching. And so I cracked it open inside of a plastic bag. And unfortunately, there was a live chick inside that, had I let sit, might have hatched. So that was kind of gross, kind of gory, kind of not cool. I won't call it traumatic, but it was really sad and sort of twisting you up a little bit. So that was that. And the other one hatched out. We actually put it with the turkeys, and then they have their brooder light on, and it's nice and warm in there. And that chick actually hatched. So we dried it off and put it under mama hen at night. And unfortunately, the next morning, she had crushed it. along with another one of her chicks that was kind of on the weaker side of things, a little bit smaller. And I think we probably could have kept that chick alive, both those chicks alive, if we had kept them inside and, got them a little bit bigger, put them back out into the chicken pen in a week or so. And I think we probably would have been all right. But as it stands, we have 8 chicks. Hopefully if we can, get 4 hens out of that, I'd be happy. Get some more eggs. Right now we are inundated with eggs, getting 6, 7, 8 eggs a day. But they taste good, and we use them. So that's what works there. Let's see what else we got here going on. Putting up some more fence. Why are we putting up fence? What kind of fence? We're putting up some more woven wire. Building another pasture that goes into the woods a little bit to give the animals a little bit of shade. And we're doing that because we need to separate our goats here. The bucks are getting closer to being sexually mature. We don't really want them around the does right now. And because we're going to have milk goats, they're going to be dairy goats. And supposedly that's what gives goat milk its sort of goaty flavor, is when the does are around the bucks, and they kind of get all nasty and confer some of that nasty taste to the milk. So we're going to separate that. And that should be it. We'll see we'll see how we do with the dogs. That's going to be the trick. If we put the dogs out there and which pasture we put them in, and if it really matters. We'll probably put the dogs in the back pasture with the woods and leave the pasture up near the road unprotected, if you will. But we'll see how that goes. And yeah. I guess that's all for now. If you're up somewhere where you haven't started planting yet, I encourage you to do that. You guys, if you need seeds, go look for seeds somewhere. I got there's a few places online. A lot of places the seeds are kind of running out. They just don't have the stock that they need. Check out Seed Savers Yearbook. I will link to that in the show notes. It's not actually the catalog that you get. It is actually an amalgamation of just a bunch of different individuals listing seeds that you can get. You can purchase from them. You can find local seeds or even like regional seeds that should do well in your environment because they've been grown there for a handful of years. Just tons of varieties. Really worth checking it out. It's a little more expensive, but if you can't find what you're looking for online at another seed place or whatever, check that out. Check that out for sure. And if you're, thinking about getting some food going, definitely the time to do it. Definitely the time to do it. Been, talk about the food chain or talk about the supply chain breaking, and yeah, it's looking a little scary out there. See how things pan out. But, some of the meat factories and the packing plants breaking down, shutting down, and, food not being able to make it to retail. And that's problematic. And, yeah, so stay safe out there. Do what you need to do, and get your plants in the ground. Get your animals growing, and take care of yourself. And check out the show notes. Check out the show notes. homesteadsandhomeschools.com/GVQ08. If you want to support the show, go ahead and do that. Patreon.com/TheLibertyHippie. Hopefully you'll find more videos like this eventually up there. Might be some specific ones that I do just for Patreon. But there is some bonus content up there as well. And, do what you can. Or you can always go to the iTunes store and write a review. Go ahead and share it around. Or, find me on Twitter or Facebook and share there. Hit me up. Let me know what you think. Got any suggestions or ideas on shows you'd like to see, guests you'd like to hear. whatever it may be, I am open and willing to listen. So that is all for today, for the month. I'll be back 3 days, 4 days. I don't know, however far away Thursday is. Or Tuesday is. I will be back. Good gracious, getting ahead of myself. Anyway, folks, I thank you for coming out here. And I just want to remind you, get out there, sow those seeds of liberty. We can all reap sheaves of freedom together.